Hello students, let us discuss about some of the careers or jobs that are available in the field of artificial intelligence. Usually artificial intelligence can be or these careers can be divided into two parts. There are jobs that require special advanced training and education, and they are mainly related with research and development and deployment of AI systems. And the other one is using uh, where you that is an job requirement where you are going to use those specific AI systems. So it is divided into two parts in that way. So as you can see over here in your book, page number 150, that it is divided into core, research, development and deployment, and there are field and area specialties. You can become a software analyst, software developer, computer scientist, computer engineer, algorithm specialist, and so many other job titles are over there. And for these cases, you should have proper and advanced training and education in that proper field. Whereas there are places such as medical professionals, such as defense force specialists, graphic designers, they are going to use the systems that are being developed by software engineers or computer engineers that are working on AI. So in these two methods or in these two ways, the categories of jobs can be defined in the sector of artificial intelligence. Now, what are the skills that are required to do some AI related jobs? Machine learning engineer. So if someone wants to become a machine learning engineer, this is one of the most in demand in AI related career, because they are the only responsible for developing and managing machine learning projects. So they should have an understanding of different programming languages: C, C++, Java, Perl, Python, and many other programming languages. They should have an idea of those kind of programming languages. They should understand applied research and data science, that how it works, and they should have strong mathematical skills. Without proper mathematical skills, a person will be unable to become a machine learning engineer, because machine learning models are based on mathematics. To be a data scientist, one must be able to understand data and draw interpretation from that huge data sets of big data. So therefore we can understand that data scientists must have an idea about big data platforms like Hive, Hadoop, MapReduce, etc. By using this kind of platforms, the data scientists can analyze a lot of amount of data. They should have knowledge of statistical computing and programming languages such as Perl, Python, R. These programming languages are specifically developed for statistical purposes. They should have knowledge about these programming languages, and also along with it they should have strong analytical and communication skills, so that they can analyze the data properly and communicate with that kind of information with everyone. Now there is a subset of data scientists, that is business intelligence developer. They are mainly directly responsible for analyzing business data and market trends. They require they means they should be able to understand and design models, analyze and interpret data properly. So they should have a proper technical and analytical skill, so that they are able to analyze, and as well as they should have a little bit of technical, not little bit, they should have proper technical skill as well. Now they should have background in engineering, computer science as well, so that they are able to properly conduct and work with everyone in those fields. Experience in business and markets. If one has experience in business and markets, therefore they can definitely move into this kind of markets of business intelligence, so that they can help it to spread properly. Next we have AI research scientists. Usually these scientists conduct research in the field of artificial intelligence, and they add to the knowledge of AI. Usually they must have a master or a doctorate degree in computer science or any related field. They should have a strong background in applied mathematics. That means they should have a knowledge about proper ways how mathematics is applied in AI. They should have this kind of knowledge. So these are some of the careers that a person can have in AI field. Now let us talk about some ethical concerns. This is one of the most important things in AI nowadays, that how uh, concerned should we be regarding the AI ethics. Now the first concern is usually regarding data management, that how is data being managed uh, all over while this kind of systems are used. First of all, data is being collected, stored and used, and this causes uh, kind of privacy concerns. For example, if Google, they use the data taken from the user, and they are doing it to increase their revenue, and mainly one of the most important thing they are providing us is the Android operating system. Now Android operating systems, whenever we buy a phone, it is already installed with pre-installed apps, and we do not need to use these kind of apps at all. So um, there are always some garbage apps that come with the phone, which can uh, take the data from us. Now if we talk about Google, we are just talking about Google over here, not any other thing. So what are the things that we are giving access to? For example, contact list. Now usually nowadays, people, instead of saving their contact list on the phone, they save the contact list with Google, so that whenever they change a phone, they just need to access that Google account, and all their particular uh, contacts are going to get downloaded into their phone. And in this way, Google has uh, Google get access to the contact list of a person. Next we have location. So suppose if we turn on location and we use Google Maps, Google is going to get the data that we have. So if we use the location and we use Google Maps, Google will have our history of places that we have moved, and if we allow other apps to use our location data, even those apps are also going to have access to our location. Next, emails. Usually whenever we write a mail, and whatever mail we are receiving and sending, everything is known to Google, everything is there. Even if we are saving as draft, everything is there, and it is known to Google. Okay. Next we have Hangout. Hangout is like a chatting platform. Usually this kind of platforms, if used in an unsecured manner, um, everything can be revealed, and they are going to, and Google has access to all your preferences, all your chats, if you do not use it securely. Now next, let's talk about Google Photos. Google Photos is a simple place where we can store our photos online. So uh, if you have your friend's uh, image in it, and their friend's name is linked in the contact list, Google knows their phone number as well, and usually they are automatically tagged in those photos. Google can tag those people in their photos very easily. Google can track the birthdays, marriage anniversaries directly from the photos that you have taken by the date and location. Usually this kind of data, if we are providing it, and if we don't take care of the data we are providing it, we should be responsible for the data losses that we may have. Now moving on to bias in real world. Usually there are biases in real world always. There are maybe some cases where case studies has been done, that it says that a particular field of job, only men are uh, taken in those jobs, such as, let us take about the maybe air force of any country. Usually air force do not have female pilots, and nowadays, even though they are having some female pilots, but previously they did not have female pilots so the ratio is in bias over here in this case. So if we now teach a system to be biased, then we do not know what happens inside the uh, programming that has been done on an AI, because nowadays most AI devices are based on neural network devices, and what happens or how data is processed inside such neural networks, it is not even the developer can tell how it is being made. The next we have the problem of inclusion. So whenever we are working with real world data, this can cause some problem of inclusion, such as uh, some people may be left out of the AI decision making system. And if there is an AI system that suppose, for the example over here is given, one of the best examples, that is Amazon uses an AI system for recruitment, and in that case it excluded some female candidates, even they did not even they had proper qualifications for that job. So it rejected, based on what? Based on the history that mostly male people are working in that area, and in previous cases also only male have been recruited in that area. So it rejected female employees just because of this reason. And so as we can see, these things can happen if we do not train an AI system properly. Now the thing is that uh, artificial intelligence systems are never able to interpret anything. Why? Because they do not have any reasoning power, they do not know how to reason. So therefore one example of this can be given by Twitter bot Tay, that was developed by Microsoft. That it uh, it was said that Tay would be able to become more and more intelligent as more and more people uh, talked with it. So in that case we saw that after 24 hours of playful time, it learned and it became a misogynistic racial personality. This happened because people, those who were chatting with uh, uh, that bot, they were also of like that origin. So therefore, as the data that was provided to it, Tay became like that. Tay is not responsible. Tay is doing whatever it has been programmed to do. Its neural processing system is doing whatever it has been taught to do. It is only learning what people is teaching. So this is something, and these are some things that the actual society reflects on such kind of data. Now moving on, let's discuss some of the components of a good AI policy. That is, an AI system must be transparent. We should be able to know what data it is being provided, from where it is being provided, and how it is processing the data. All these things should be clearly said. Uh, if in an AI, the AI must have the right to collect the data. To use an AI system, it must have the right to collect the data. Now there has been concerns that there must have been a choice, means if there are consumers, those who do not want to use this AI system, who do not want to be part of this AI system, they should be allowed to leave the system in their way. Now the data that is collected, should purpose of AI should be only to limit it by design, that is only to learn and not to use that data elsewhere. Now data with the AI system must must be deleted if there is a request from the consumer. So this is something that we should keep in mind, that if I do not want to be a part of an AI system, we should be let out, and the AI should delete all our data from the system. Now, what are the some of the ethical concerns that are related to the adoption of the AI system? Specifically, job loss. And people think that if AI systems comes, that it is going to take away their jobs. In some cases, there are studies done by McKinsey Global Institute. In some cases, it says that 40 million to 160 million women are going to lose their jobs because of adaptations of AI systems. They claim that jobs like clerical, secretarial, and schedulers, bookkeepers are given to women, and in these cases, women are going to lose their jobs because these things can be automated by a machine. In a study done by Oxford Economics, it says that uh, the manufacturing sector is going to lose at least 20 million jobs because of by 2030 because of AI systems. McKinsey Global Institute also had a study that said that countries like USA will see a job loss of 25%, and some areas will get job loss of 20%, and rural areas are also going to get uh, to see losses just because AI were introduced. So according to World Economic Forum, it is said that uh, by 2022 there would be a job loss of 75 million, but they also say that 133 million new AI related jobs will be created. So if a person is losing a job in one sector, they may have a chance of getting job in the AI sector. Next, we have increasing inequalities. Okay, so the thing is, when these kind of systems are given and people are losing their jobs, what can happen is that there can be an economic disaster, because uh, in the economic benefits will specifically go to the companies, and people those who are losing their jobs, they are not going to have any kind of benefit from there. So the difference between the income difference between some sections of people are going to get increased day by day. So this is something that can happen when there is a job loss, and the economic factor is going to be one of the great factors over here. Next, negative adoptions. Uh, Usually whenever we are thinking about, if we think about history, human beings all not always positive. There are negative sides to human beings also. So in that case, people are also going to take things negatively, and these AI systems will not only be used by good people but by terrorists also. They also can cause cyber attacks on other countries, and with the help of AIs they can easily hack into so many computers as well. So these things can happen. Next, we have the black box problem. As I said earlier, that nowadays the AI machines or the AI devices are being made from by programming artificial neural networks. So what goes on inside an artificial neural network, it cannot be said even by the programmer as well. So what goes on inside the black box stays inside the black box. Let us now discuss the cost benefit analysis of the AI systems. Usually, the main ethical concern before us is to evaluate these benefits against the human costs to see. So, if in the specific case this adoption is justified or not, we have to see that adopting AI, is it justified properly or not. We must not forget that the most of the technological advancements of past have also come with limitations or dangers. So this is something that we should be careful about. Technological advancement, technology always has been a boon as well as a bane to us. So instead of throwing away technology, we should be able to adopt it in such a way that it we can reduce the dangers and overcome the possibilities. Now I would like to say one thing over here, that we say, or people say, negative people say, that AI is going to take over the jobs. Now what if we build AIs that are going to help us do our jobs more better, or in a better way. If it helps us to do in a better way, why not use such kind of systems? There is an assistant in an office. Instead of replacing the assistant with some AI system, why not provide the assistant with an AI, so that the assistant's productivity can be increased more, and in that way we can both live together with the, we can have a human being working symbiotically with an AI system. This thing can definitely be done in the future if possible. So this ends our chapter over here, and in the next part only we have lab workings. So this completes the AI syllabus. So if you have any doubts, you can definitely post those kind of doubts. If you have something to say, you can definitely post those doubts in the comment section in Google Classroom. Thank you.